Today, I wanted to share with you some thoughts that I have about the idea of slope. What does slope actually mean? How does it actually work? So we're going to be talking about that today. Okay, let's get started. Slope, which is called m, is a rate of change. It can be positive or it can be negative. Here's a positive situation. I start with $200 and I gain $12 per hour. The slope, the rate of change, m, all the same thing. The slope is $12 per hour. It is positive. The equation will be y equals 12x plus 200. 200 is the start amount, and the slope is positive 12. Okay, or it could be negative. If I start with $200 and I spend $12 per hour, that's not going to make my amount of money go up. That's going to make my amount of money go down. In this case, the slope, called the rate of change, or m, is negative $12 per hour. In this case, y is going to be negative 12x plus the same 200. 200 is still positive because I still have that amount of money. It's not money that is going away or coming to me. It is a positive amount. It's not an amount that I owe. Okay, let's compare two values. We can figure out the slope in this case. After 3 seconds, I was 120 feet off the ground. After 8 seconds, which is later, I was 200 feet off the ground. Over time, I went up, so the rate of change is positive. After 3 seconds, I was 200 feet off the ground. After 8 seconds, later, I was 120 feet off the ground. This time, I went down. So this time, the slope is negative. Okay, let's see what's next. What happens if we go backwards in time? All right, right now, I have $350. 3 days ago, I had $200. My amount of money went up over time. That's a positive slope. That's a positive rate of change. That's a positive m. Now, if you just look at the numbers, 350, 200, that looks like it's going down. But remember, it also goes back in time. And a negative makes positive. This is a positive rate of change. Look at a different situation. Now I have $200. 3 days ago, I had $480. This time my amount of money went down. That's a negative rate of change. If you just look at 200 and 480, it looks like my money went up. But it's going back in time, and back in time is also negative, and positive divided by negative still makes negative. No matter which one of them is negative. Let's find a rate of change now. Okay, on day 3, the plant was 20 centimeters tall. On day 8, the plant was 80 centimeters tall. The plant got taller, should be positive. How much taller did the plant get? Well, 80 minus 20 is 60. Plant got 60 centimeters taller. How many days did it take? Well, it was day 3, now it's day 8, so that's 8 minus 3 equals 5. How much did it grow each day? Well, 60 divided by 5 is 12. What was the rate of change? 12 centimeters per day. You have to have the unit when you give a rate of change. 12 centimeters per day. Let's find some rates of change now for a different situation. Okay. Hour 7, $370. Hour 10, $314. This one's negative. It goes down. How much money did they lose? Well, 370 minus 314 is $56. How many hours did it take for the club to lose that amount of money? Well, 10 minus 7 is 3. How much did it lose each hour? Well, 56 divided by 3 is 1, 8 and 2/3. But did they gain money or lose money? They actually lost money. There's a problem with my calculations. I'm going to change this to be 314 minus 370 is negative 56. That makes this negative and this negative. What was the rate of change? Negative $18.67 per hour. Negative, the amount went down. Notice, I could have done it another way, but we'll deal with that later on. Rates of change do not have to be over time. This time it's over ounces of chocolate. Everybody likes chocolate. This one is about chocolate. 20 ounces of chocolate cost $17. 36 ounces of more chocolate cost $29. Obviously, more chocolate, more money. Okay, this should be positive. More chocolate, more money, positive, positive, makes positive. How much more money? Well, 29 minus 17 equals 12. How many more ounces? 36 minus 20 equals 16. How much would it cost for each ounce of chocolate? We have to do 16 divided by 12. Nope, that's backwards. We want to do 12 divided by 16. 12 divided by 16 doesn't come out evenly, but we can simplify it, and that turns into 3/4. Always simplify your fractions. What was the rate of change? Well, it's money. What's 3/4 of a dollar? 3/4 of a dollar is 75 cents. The rate of change is 75 cents per ounce of chocolate. Every additional ounce of chocolate costs you 75 cents more. Okay, try the next thing. Well, now we're not going to be looking at situations so much as points. Here are 2 points, 20, 50, and 30, 80. Those are 2 sets of coordinates. Remember, this is x, this is y. This is x, this is y. They should be positive because as 20 goes to 30, that's going up, and 50 goes to 80, that's also going up. Since it's up and up, that must be positive. All right? All right, let's do y2 minus y1. That's 80 minus 50. And then it's 30 minus 20. I want you to notice something. Here's 80 and 30, same point on top of each other. Here's 20, 50, same point on top of each other. And that's important because of what happens with the positive and negative. Let's just say that I switched just this one, and I made it 20 minus 30. Well, that would be 30 over negative 10 is negative 3. But we said that this should be a positive slope, and we got a negative answer. And the reason it was wrong is 50 and 30 are not in the same points. And 80 and 20 are not in the same points. That's why it's wrong. Let me fix it now. Fix it. Undo, undo, undo. Get rid of that. Let's do it right this time. 80. What x value goes with 80? 30. So 30 goes underneath 80. What x value goes with 50? 20. So 20 goes there. 80 minus 50 is 30. 30 minus 20 is 10. 30 divided by 10 is 3. The slope is 3. Notice I don't bother putting 3 over 1. 3 over 1 simplifies to 3. You always want to simplify as far as you can. Let's try a different set of points. Okay, ready. 8, 36, 11, 18. Well, 8 turns into 11, which goes up. 36 turns into 18, that goes down. This should be a negative slope. They go in different directions. The x's go up while the y's go down. All right, we need should end up with a negative if we do this correctly. y2, 18, minus y1, 36. Notice these are not the same points. These are 2 different points. x2, 11, 18 and 11, same point. 18, 11, same point. 36, 8, same point. 18 minus 36, negative 18. 11 minus 8, positive 3. The slope is negative 6. Excellent. I just want to show you something. Let's say I switch it up, but I do it correctly. This time I'll put 36 minus 18, but because I use 36 first, I have to use 8 first. 8 minus 11. Well, that makes positive 18, but it makes negative 3, and it's still negative 6, because positive divided by negative is negative. Let's move on. Here's a different set of points. All right, so 30 minus 0, 12 minus 30. All right, 30 minus 0 is 30. 12 minus 30 is 18. That's negative, so it will be negative. What divides into both 30 and 18? 6 does. Negative 5/3. Notice it's negative because this goes down, but this goes up. They are in different directions. Negative. I could switch it. Instead of 30 first, I'll put 0 minus 30 over 30 minus 12. That's negative 30, positive 18, still negative 5/3. Doesn't make any difference as long as these are in the same point and these are in the same point. Okay, let's move on. How about a set of tables that has values in it? How does slope work there? Well, here's a set of values. Here's a point. Here's a point. Here's a point. So I'll do y minus y. 56. Notice 56 is a y value. Minus 26. That's the other y value. Then we'll do 20. 20 is an x value. Minus 8. 8 is the other x value. 56 minus 26, that's 30. 20 minus 8 is 12. 30 divided by 12 doesn't go in evenly, but 6 divides into both of them, and we get 5 halves. The slope is 5 halves. Something kind of neat this time. I don't have to use those 2 points. I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use this one. So instead I'll do negative 9, y value, minus 26, negative 6, x value, minus 8. Negative 9 goes down, minus 26 goes further down. That's negative 35. Negative 6 goes down, negative 8 also goes down. Negative 14, negative divided by negative is positive. They're both divisible by 7. 35 divided by 7 is 5. 14 divided by 7 is 2. It is still 5 halves. When you have a table, it does not matter which points you use. You will always get the same values. In fact, let me just quick show you. 20 minus negative 6 is 26. That goes on the bottom because it's the x values. 56 minus 9, negative 9, is 65. Divide them both by 13, you get 5 halves. It doesn't matter which points you use. You will still get the same slope. Here's a different set of values. Notice, these are going up. These are going down. That means that we are going to get a negative slope. All right, let's see what happens. I'll use this point and this point, just to be different. Okay, the y values. Negative 10 minus, not 1, minus negative 1. That's negative 9. 50, notice, 10 and negative 10 and 50. Negative 10 and 50. Same point. Negative 1 goes with 35. 50 minus 13 is positive 15. Simplify, it's going to be negative. Negative, divide them both by 3, negative 3/5. The slope will be negative 3/5. And it doesn't matter which point I use. I could even do, let's erase the 1 and the negative 1 and the 35. Let's use instead this point. So negative 10 minus 29. 50 minus negative 15. Okay, that's going to change these. Negative 10 minus 29 is down and down some more, is negative 39. 50 minus negative 15, that's up and up some more, that's 65. Divide them both by 13, negative 3/5. Same slope. Didn't matter which points I used. All right, how did this work in graphs? Let's say I start with $5 and I gain $2 each minute. That would mean that the slope of the rate of change would be 2, positive 2. That means each minute I go up. The equation will be y equals 2x plus 5. Let's zoom in a little bit. Notice, here's 0. I have $5. After 1 hour, I get 2 more dollars. Now I'm at $7. 2 and 1. After another 1 hour, I get 2 more dollars. Now I'm at $9. 2 more, 11. 2 more, 13. It keeps going up and up and up. Every single hour, it goes up by 2. Easy enough. Hey, look, what happens this time? I start with $5 and I lose $2 each minute. This time the slope would be negative 2. The equation would be y equals negative 2x plus 5. Let's look at the graph. Here I am starting at $5 at 0 time. I go down by 2, now I'm at 3. I go down by 2, now I'm at 1. I go down by 2, now I'm at negative 1. I'm owing somebody some money. Every single time I move 1 to the right, 1 hour, I lose $2. Let's see another one. Here's a different situation. I start with $5 and I gain $1 each minute. Okay? 1 hour, 1 more dollar, 6. Another dollar, 7. Another hour, another dollar, 8. Every time I go 1 over, I go 1 up. Also interesting, if I go 5 over, I go 5 up. It's because 5 over 5 is equal to 1. Simplifying. The equation is y equals x plus 5. I don't have to put 1x, because 1x is just equal to x. 1 times anything is the same thing. If you don't see a coefficient, that means the slope is 1. Okay. Here's a different situation. I start with $5 and I gain 80 cents per minute. 80 cents is less than $1. In fact, 80 cents would be 4/5, because it's 80 1/100ths. And that simplifies to 4/5. So the slope is going to be 4/5. The equation is y equals 4/5 x plus 5. Well, let's see. Here I am at $5. I go up 4/5. That's 4/5 because you notice it's less than a whole dollar up. See that? Now, that's not the way that I told you how to graph. I told you to go over 5 and up 4. But look what happens. If you do that and you cut it into the 5 pieces, each piece is going to be 4/5 more. From here to here is 4/5. From here to here is 4/5. From here to here is 4/5. And from here to here is 4/5. It's just easier than having you try to figure it out one by one. Notice, 4/5 is less than $1. This goes up less than 1 per each one. When it was 1, it went up 1. 4/5 is less than 1. It has to go up less than it goes to the right. If your slope is less than 1, then it has to go up less than it goes to the right. Up, less, right, more. Okay. Here's a different situation. I start with $5 and I gain $1.25 each minute. $1.25 comes out to 5/4. That's an easy arithmetic. 125 over 100 simplifies to 5/4. Divide them each by 25. This time $1.25 is more than $1. So it has to go up more than it goes to the right. More. 5/4 is more than 1. It has to go up more. Therefore, you go up 5, right 4. One other thing before we move on. You say to me, yes, it does go up. But doesn't it also go down? Yeah, over here it goes down. Goes down 5. But to do that, it also goes left 4. And isn't negative 5 over negative 4 still equal to positive 5/4? That's why it still goes up in that direction. This is a positive slope. Okay, let's practice graphing some equations. All right, here's a quick equation. Y equals 2/7 x plus 3. All right, so plus 3. 1, 2, 3, dot. Okay, 2/7. Is 2/7 more than 1 or less than 1? 2/7 is less than 1. That means we want to go up less than we go to the right. So we'll go 7 to the right and 2 up. And 7 to the right and 2 up. And 7 to the right and 2 up is off the graph. But now we have to go in the other direction. 7 to the left and 2 down. 7 to the left and 2 down. And it's off the graph in that direction. Draw the line, and that's the equation for that one. That's the line for that one. We had to start at 3, then we had to go 7 to the right and 2 up because 2/7 is less than 1. Therefore, it had to go up less than it goes to the right. Let's try another one. Y equals negative 7/5 x plus 10. All right, so we'll start out, we'll go up to 10. Here's the x-axis, here's the y-axis, here's positive 10. The slope is negative 7/5. It means we want to go down. 5 to the right, 7 down. Notice I go down more than I go to the right because 7/5 is more than 1. It is an improper fraction. That means the change in y, the downness, has to be more than the rightness. We can also go in the other direction because remember negative 7/5 is equal to negative 7 over 5, but it's also equal to 7 over negative 5. So we'll do that. 5 to the left and 7 up. Still negative 7/5. Continuing. 5 to the right, 7 down. 5 to the right, 7 down. 5 to the right, 7 down. Draw the line. All the way through. All the way off. Zoom in a little bit. Zoom in a little bit and draw the arrows, and that's how you graph. One more. I just want you to see what happens if it's a whole number. Okay, so let's try y equals negative 6x plus 8. We'll start at 8. Negative 6, remember that's 6 every single time. The rate of change is 6. Negative 6 in this case because it's going down. So for every 1, we go 6 down. 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 Then we be off the graph. 1, we go 6 up. Remember, it's going backwards, so we go backwards. 1, we go 6 up. Negative, negative makes positive. Positive, negative makes negative. Arrow, arrow. That's how you graph. Those are some thoughts about slope. I hope that this has been helpful.